Hey, it's Tara with Reiki on the Run. So today I have an interesting video about me not being high when I make my videos. I'll explain a little. I got an email today with a comment, a tip. I'll read it to you and then we'll talk about it because it's just interesting. So it says, and here's a tip: stop being high on your videos. It's freaky and highly noticeable. Now, as a word person, I did like the highly noticeable part there. But even though this was meant to be a personal attack to me, it's actually a good thing to bring up. And if you are not in the know of why it might seem that I'm high in my videos, that could be a legitimate question. So there might be some people who think that. I've also thought that about someone I listened to on YouTube when I started my journey of waking up. And I used to think that. I'm like, is he high? And then, later I found out he doesn't do any mind-altering substance, no alcohol, anything. So he's not high. So I can tell you that I have never gotten high before I make a video. I have had a few drinks and had a slight buzz from drinks on videos, but they were actually titled Cocktail Hour, and I was seen pouring the drinks, and it was kind of the whole point of the video. So I'll explain why I might look like I'm high during my videos. I meditate before my videos. I have never once gotten high before a video, but before every single video I do, I meditate. And sometimes it's just for a minute to get myself centered, try to release myself from any ego before I come on and try to teach what I'm teaching or talk about what I'm talking about, and just to kind of get centered and allow all the other thoughts out of my mind. And just to get centered. And so if you don't know, when you meditate, it changes your brain waves. First of all, it's documented they've tested on monks who monks can actually put themselves into this state that's almost dead. It's so slowed down, and you can look into that if you're interested. But when you meditate, it actually shifts you into a different state, a completely different state that is more where you would be normally sleeping or almost just before you fall asleep. And it's called a meditative state. It's actually a thing. And when you come out of it, and depending on how deep you've gone, how long you've been doing it, you can appear to have just woken up. Your eyes will be glassy or glossy. You can sound like you are sleepy, your eyelids can be droopy, and you can look high and you can feel high. And so just in case anyone has ever wondered that, if it's freaky and I seem noticeably high, I assure you I have never been high on a video. Or aside from the cocktail hours, I had drinks. I have no desire to be intoxicated while I'm making videos. That doesn't sound fun, or, I don't think it would be very helpful in my videos. So it's just not true. And it's interesting. So I Googled looking high when you're meditating, and it popped up this, the very first thing was a thing on Reddit, and it says, and I'll link it below if you want to read more about it. It says, "Why does meditation make me feel high?" And this guy talks about he's new to meditation and he feels stoned after he meditates and yada yada. And a lot of people go on to explain why that is. And it's a really interesting read. Like I said, I'll put it below. And there was one guy said, one of the first things you learn in pharmacology is that the drugs that they make can only enhance something your body already makes. So that's a very interesting thing in many ways. But there was one, I should have kept it. Here it is. It says, I really enjoyed it, and I thought you might enjoy it too. It says, the blissfulness, talking about the blissfulness that you feel when you meditate. Kind of like being stoned, right? And that's why people get stoned, get high, because they want to feel that bliss that takes them away from their problems. That's why people drink, right? Generally, to get away and not think about their problems. Well, you can achieve that. And I still like to drink occasionally. That's fine. Not a problem. But you can achieve that state via meditation, and you can achieve that feeling, not only the escaping just by not thinking about things, but you actually feel high when you meditate. So it's a pretty great thing. But I liked what this person said. They said, the blissfulness is your true nature. It's the thoughts, good or bad, which pollutes the mind and takes away from the bliss. Thoughts are like stones being thrown in a calm lake. The lake is always calm, but the stones we throw in is what makes it restless. So I thought that was nice. Anyway, if you want to read more about that, and maybe it's not the way I look. Maybe it's not necessarily that my eyes are glassy, or that I look like I just woke up, or that I'm stoned. It might be the way that I talk. So when I'm doing a video, I'm not talking in a way that I normally talk if I'm like on the phone with you or having a conversation in person with you, which would be a lot faster, and because it's more spontaneous. So when I'm doing a video, a couple of things are happening. One, I'm connecting with my higher self, source, God, whatever, channeling you could call it. I'm making sure. And two, I'm making sure all of my sentences are coherent, and I'm kind of organizing the things I'm gonna say and what I wanna say next, kind of how I'm talking a little slow right now. And that may give off the appearance that I'm high, but I'm not. I assure you that I'm not. So anyway, I hope this clears anything up for anyone who might think that I'm showing up high on my videos, which I'm not, if I wanted to, who cares, right? It doesn't matter. I don't care if somebody does their videos high or not, but I'm just letting you know that I don't. And I understand that this comment, this tip provided to me was meant to be a personal attack, not a real tip. But as an alchemist that I am, spiritual alchemy, that's what we do. We churn energy from one thing to another. So I am going to take this negative energy that was shot at me, and while it did hurt my feelings for a bit, just for a minute, I'm going to turn it around and shift it into something positive by making this video. And honestly, if anybody decides to take up meditation because they're like, what? It can feel like I'm high, maybe that sounds interesting to you. It is a great feeling. There's nothing like meditating. And I understand that someone who's never meditated and experienced that could think these other things. But if it gets one person to get into meditation, then it was all worth the bit of negativity thrown my way. And if you are interested in learning how to meditate, I'm going to link below this YouTube channel that all they have is like 5 videos on meditation, and I'll link to the first guided one. It's fabulous, super simple on what you can do to get started. It's not as hard as it sounds, and you too can look high like me. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon.